Cardinals leading the Chargers at halftime by the score of 7-3. Three-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Wes Chandler inducted into the Chargers Hall of Fame. Here at halftime, Chandler now the wide receivers coach for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll return after these messages.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Cardinals lead the Chargers at halftime by the score of 7-3. Kenny Albert, Tim Green from San Diego. David Boston has become the go-to guy for Jake Plummer, and he has the game's only touchdown.
Well, he really has. I mean, while San Diego has controlled the ball most of the game, right now David Boston is apparently unstoppable. You see him here, he's getting great separation from the coverage. And despite the fact that the Chargers are putting two guys on him, he's able to bring in the deep ball. So I think the Cardinals just have to keep feeding the ball to David Boston.
And on the other side, a big first half for Chargers rookie LaDainian Tomlinson.
Well, he's got almost 100 yards in all-purpose, and he's been involved not only in the running game, where we've seen him run up the center and we've seen his speed to the outside. He's been involved in the passing game, and he's provided a nice outlet pass for quarterback Doug Flutie, who I think has really gotten his rhythm back. The thing that they have struggled with is putting the ball in the end zone. They've moved the ball up and down the field. Now they need to stop, making the mistakes in the kicking game, and they need to punch it in when they get down close.
And from one Tim to another, our Tim Ryan is standing by with Chargers head coach Mike Riley.
Mike, you guys are doing a pretty good job on offense, moving the football, but only 3 points. How do you get that fixed?
Well, what we got to do is either got to score touchdowns or make sure we make the field goals. And we've moved the ball well. We've had some good drives, but we don't have much to show for it.
What's going on with the kicking game?
Just missing kicks. You know, I think that all the rest of it looks okay as far as the hold and the snap and the protection. We're just missing the kicks right now, and then we got to make something else happen. We've been making some big plays in the kicking game all year, so we're looking for a return or something to spark us.
All right, Coach, thanks. Guys.
All right, thanks very much, Tim. And there is Wade Ritchie, who missed 2 field goals in the first half from 25 and 27 yards out. Chargers on their first drive today, Tim, were on the move, and then a face mask penalty against Curtis Conway took them out of Arizona territory, and they had a punt.
And I think Arizona's defense has done a nice job in the red zone of stiffening up and keeping the Chargers out of it.
There's Marte Jenkins for the Cardinals, cutting to his right. Now back the other way. Jenkins still on his feet. Marte Jenkins into Chargers territory. And he's forced out of bounds by the kicker, Wade Ritchie.
Ritchie may have squandered 6 points in field goals in the first half, but he just saved 7 points here in the second half with this tackle.
A 70-yard return by Marte Jenkins.
And Jenkins just does a great job of running through a tackle and then turning on the speed. He reverses field. He draws the whole Chargers defense to one side, and then he comes back to the other. And this is a really nice job by Wade Ritchie to take the proper angle and cut off Jenkins' path to the end zone.
Marte winning the battle of the Jenkins. San Diego's Ronnie Jenkins, no relation, coming into the game as the league's top return man. Pittman up the middle, down to the 25-yard line for a gain of 4 as we check out the first half numbers.
And you can see that the Chargers have chalked up, almost twice the amount of yardage as the Cardinals, but it's been this right here. This is what gave the Cardinals their score. They've got the ball downfield to David Boston, and they need to continue to do that. And when you have that kind of an imbalance, you have this kind of an imbalance in the time of possession. The thing the Cardinals have to be aware of is they need to keep putting points on the board. Their defense will wear down if they keep losing the time of possession battles.
Plummer's pass incomplete, intended for Marte Jenkins, who moments ago returned the opening kickoff of this second half, 70 yards.
Really, Marte Jenkins has everything but consistency. He has speed, and at times he has the ability to make very athletic catches and athletic plays. He just doesn't do it all the time. Last week he was consistent. He caught the ball every time it was thrown to him. He had 3 catches for 90 yards, and they were important catches.
Now 3rd down and 6. 3 wide receivers. Plummer, quick drop. And the pass deflected and then caught. Terrific second effort for the first down. So Marte Jenkins this time makes the catch after the initial deflection.
Well, here's Jenkins. He's going to break right here on this slant. The ball's thrown behind him, and that's the kind of concentration and determination that they need from Marte Jenkins, because Frank Sanders, who strained his hamstrings in last week's game, we're told is now out of the game. He will not return. So Marte Jenkins, so you can see, I mean, he's winded, Kenny. I mean, think about it. He had the long return, and then he had one pass go to him, and then just had another pass go to him.
Jenkins usually the third wide receiver for Dave McGinnis, but with Frank Sanders out, he moves up to number 2, and Arnold Jackson becomes the third wide out.
And when you're the third wide receiver, you know, when you return a kick, then you're used to going over to the sideline and you get plenty of rest. But Jenkins is not going to have that luxury, and you can see him breathing hard. And I think it's very commendable that he was able to drop one pass and then make a difficult catch and then drive for that first down.
And the Cardinals, of course, still without Rob Moore, who has not played in a game since the '99 season.
Yes.
He has not begun to practice with the team, but he is running.
And he still is an incredible talent. And I believe Rob Moore will get healthy, will return. I don't know if it'll be with the Cardinals next year, but you'll see him somewhere in the National Football League.
First down for the Cardinals from the 19-yard line. Here's Pittman, who had his problems in the first half. He had 2 passes from Plummer deflect away, but Pittman gains 5 yards down to the San Diego 14.
And Pittman just escapes the clutches of Junior Seau. Watch Seau come up on this blitz, and he just runs right through Anthony Clement. Watch this here. Wham! He knocks Clement right backwards, but Pittman is able to slide just underneath him and make a nice gain on the ground.
2nd and 5. Pittman again down to the 11-yard line. Gain of 3 before he was brought down by Orlando Ruff.
One thing you know you get from Michael Pittman is his effort. I mean, he is such a hard runner. I mean, he's almost maniacal the way he runs. And I think, you know, heck, he ran himself into the turf and gave himself a concussion. And I think sometimes he runs so hard that he's prone to fumbling because he never, ever will go down. And so oftentimes people get that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th hit on him, and they can jar the ball loose.
3rd down and 1. Off the play fake to Pittman. Plummer has the first down and more. Out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
You know, when Norv Turner was interviewing for jobs, Dave McGinnis wanted to bring him to Arizona, and he wanted him to be the coordinator there. One thing Norv Turner loved about the Cardinals was Jake Plummer, his skills, and his ability to be creative. And I think we saw that creativity. There's Norv Turner, who took the job, obviously, in San Diego, but I think we saw Jake Plummer's creativity and what Norv Turner liked in him on that play. Because Plummer has the legs where he can pick up positive yards and make big plays, running it as well as throwing it.
1st and goal from the 5-yard line. And Michael Pittman is followed up by Junior Seau.
Remember I said earlier that Junior Seau can play both gaps, and that is exactly what he does. Watch him here. Here he is right here, and he comes, and he's got the inside of the tight end, and he's got the outside of the tight end. And he makes Pittman go to the outside because he's inside, and then he bounces outside and takes it himself. And that's why the Chargers have been so successful over the years that he's been here in stopping the run. He's like having 2 players out there against the run.
Here's Pittman, bounces off one tackle, reaches across, he lost the football. Marcellus Wiley recovers. The question is, was he across the plane before he fumbled? And it does not look like he was, according to the officials. Cardinals sideline saying that Pittman was down.
I don't know. I thought he had the ball across the plane.
So did I.
We'll get a chance to see here. I think he holds that ball out. That's a touchdown. Unless his knee was down, that is a touchdown. And if his knee was down, then it wouldn't be a fumble.
The runner was down by contact.
Now that's not reviewable. There you go. So they settled that one. It will not go to instant replay because a down by contact ruling is not reviewable. Now, had they said this is a fumble, there's the knee. Yeah, I think that's a great call by the officials.
Excellent call.
They really do a fine job. I was looking at the replay statistics, and I think we've had about 100 so far this year, and they've overturned only about a third of them. And I think most times these guys down here on the field, they see things incredibly well.
So Pittman was down on the 1, setting up 3rd and goal. Pittman tripped up.
What an effort.
Again, Junior Seau
was in there, and this is about timing for Junior Seau, because he hits the line of scrimmage as the ball is snapped. I mean, the timing by Seau, watch Seau, he's going to rocket into the scene here, and right there, and he's up and over and in the backfield, and right at Pittman's feet before Pittman has a chance to launch.
And the Cardinals will not go for it.
So Junior Seau saves a touchdown with his run defending abilities.
And Bill Gramatica connects from 18 yards out. The shortest possible field goal, as the Cardinals were about 1 foot out, and they elect for 3.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by UPS, the official delivery company of football fans everywhere.
No matter how many honors you have as a football player, there's one badge you always love to wear, and that's this right here, blood. You love to have blood, you know, running all over your body because you don't care, you can't feel it, your adrenaline's going, and you love to have people see that, hey, I'm out on the football field, I can bleed, I don't care.
And the goal line stand kept the Cardinals out of the end zone. Another short kickoff by Gramatica is brought out by Ronnie Jenkins to the 33-yard line, a 17-yard return. There's the blood. Kenny Albert, Jim Green back in San Diego. Cardinals out in front 10-3. Capitalized following the 70-yard return by Marte Jenkins.
Yeah, but an important stand for the Chargers to keep the Cardinals to a field goal, and now Flutie only has to get 7 to tie.
And Flutie's pass incomplete, deflects away from Curtis Conway, the intended receiver. Fox tonight, for the first time on television, it's Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, starting at 7. And following the premiere, don't miss the sneak peek at the StarWars.com documentary R2-D2 Beneath the Dome, the humorous behind-the-scenes look at the droid and his rise to stardom. It's all coming at you tonight at 7 p.m. only on Fox.
That's Darth Maul right there.
There he is. Here's Tomlinson. He fumbles, and it's recovered by the Cardinals. Ronald McKinnon on the recovery after the fumble by LaDainian Tomlinson.
Now, that is the 3rd time that LaDainian Tomlinson has put the ball on the ground, but the first time that they're calling it a fumble. Right? We've seen him lose the ball before, but his knee was down when he lost it. That time, his knee was not down. And Kwame Lassiter, who has 7 interceptions, so is responsible for a lot of turnovers already, but he's there, and he may get the forced fumble, but I think LaDainian Tomlinson just got a little careless with the football.
First Chargers turnover of the game. And it gives the Cardinals terrific field position on the San Diego 36.
May want to review this one.
San Diego is challenging the ruling on the field that it is a fumble.
Good challenge by Mike Riley. Because it was so close, you may as well have Walt Coleman take a look.
If nothing else, you buy your defense. That's
ball was out.
Fumble.
Ball was out.
But if nothing else, with the challenge, you buy your defense a little bit more breathing time, because they just came off of defending a drive, and they did a nice job on the goal line stand. forcing the Cardinals to kick a field goal.
This call should stand as the ball looks to pop loose before Tomlinson's knee is down. And then McKinnon with the recovery. So Walt Coleman reviewing the play. Chargers last year, when they won only one game, Tim, had a turnover ratio of -28, which was the worst in the NFL in 35 years. But this season, they've obviously done a much better job. 5-5 record, +7 in the takeaway giveaway department.
Well, they've had numerous miscues today, has Mike Riley's team. Missed kicks, penalties. One more look. You know what? That left knee, I don't know. From that's the first angle I've seen where I thought maybe that
angle,
knee was down. From this angle,
the runner was not touched down. His knee did hit the ground, but he was not down. No one touched him. The ball came out prior to being touched. So the ruling on the field stands. It is a fumble. First down for Arizona.
So the knee was down, but it was not touched.
Yeah, I thought the knee was down, and then, yeah, you realize that he wasn't touched. And, I mean, from that angle there, it looks like his knee wasn't down, but when we looked at that low end zone angle behind, right there, the knee's down, and then the ball comes out. But as the official reminded us, since no one touched him, it's a live ball.
So the Chargers lose a timeout. And the Cardinals, with a 7-point lead, take over on the San Diego 36-yard line. First turnover today by San Diego. They have allowed only 19 points following turnovers over their first 10 games.
I think a lot of that is because of Junior Seau. You get that shock value in return after a big play is made. There he is again.
Quick release by Plummer, and it's incomplete.
That's exactly why teams have a tough time scoring after a turnover. Because the reason why you get a lot of points off of turnovers is because the other team is deflated. But look at Seau. Look at him there, and look at the pressure. So Seau and Gerald Dixon are immediately on Jake Plummer, and they force him to just throw that ball away. And Seau is the kind of guy, his intensity is always ratcheted up, whether it's a turnover or not a turnover.
3 wide receivers set. 2nd and 10. Plummer can't find anyone. Rolling to his right. And steps out of bounds at the 36-yard line. No gain on the play, so it will be 3rd and long for the Cardinals.
Well, Kenny, we talked about Jake and his best game of the year, or best game of his career last week. On this one here, he is looking downfield for Boston, but he sees the underneath coverage, and then he sees the coverage over the top. So I think he didn't make a positive play by forcing the ball in, but he didn't make a negative play by giving the Chargers an interception.
Plummer under pressure on 3rd and 10, dumps it off, and Thomas Jones is close to the first down marker. Jones needed to get to the 26-yard line for a first down.
It's going to be very close. And again, what the Chargers do defensively is they bring the heat. I mean, they bring Junior Seau. Watch him come on the blitz here. Here he comes. He's unimpeded. And while, yes, it is a screen pass, Plummer has to throw this screen pass sooner than he wants to because nobody's there to even slow Seau down.
Here come the change. Another injury update, Tim, for the Chargers. Safety Rogers Beckett out with a concussion. Just short. 4th and inches for the Cardinals.
This is one you go for, because it's in that kind of no man's land as far as a field goal. And I think when you're the Cardinals and you've had the trouble that they've had on the road and you're 3-6, you know, and you've got an offensive line that you paid a lot of money for. They've got Pete Kendall, a free agent who they paid a lot for, and Leonard Davis, who's an incredibly powerful man. I'd run it right. I'd tuck it in and run it right behind Leonard Davis.
Cardinals will go for it.
And Davis may be the strongest man in the game.
Jenkins in motion. Here's Pittman over the top for the first down.
Right behind Leonard Davis.
There's Davis, who is the second overall pick behind Michael Vick.
Yeah, and he gets some help with Anthony Clement, and they just drive forward, and there's a nice launching point for Michael Pittman. You see Pittman? I mean, there's no one there to stop him.
Last time he tried to launch, it was Junior Seau who tripped him up in the backfield.
Yeah, but you can't get through Leonard Davis to do any tripping.
Off the play fake to Pittman. Plummer. And the pass is caught. A sliding catch made by the tight end Steve Bush, playing in his third game with the Cardinals.
And Steve Bush is a great story. I mean, Terry Hardy has been out with an injury, and they went to Taiwan Mitchell, who's a converted wide receiver. Steve Bush was walking around on the streets of Arizona, shopping malls, and Jake is comfortable with him. He played with him in college. And Steve Bush is in Arizona because his mom recently passed away. He's there taking care of his dad. So he wanted to play for Arizona. He didn't want to go anywhere else. He wanted to stay with his dad, and he has done a fine job of improving the Cardinals' run game by blocking and being a certain target for Jake out in the field.
Plummer calls timeout. Bush, 4 years with the Bengals, went to camp with the Rams, but now he's a Cardinal.
After LaDainian Tomlinson's fumble, the Arizona Cardinals are near scoring. They were foiled the last time they were down here when they tried to run it. I think you go to David Boston. I think you just, look at it. Every time you throw to him, he catches it. One time he's got a touchdown. They're going to double cover him, but I think with his size and his strength, I think you throw to him anyway.
1st and 10 from the Chargers 12. Play action. Plummer throws, deflected, and picked off by Jason Perry. The second interception of the game for the Chargers, both coming on deflections.
A huge play for the San Diego Chargers. And Perry comes up with the interception. Ruff was the guy who tipped it, but watch the guys who made the play. Watch the coverage on David Boston. There's coverage right there by Ryan McNeil. And McNeil is the guy that, watch Plummer. He wants to throw to Boston. But McNeil has perfect coverage, so he goes down to his tight end. He never sees the linebacker. And it's another big play in the red zone by the Chargers defense.
Perry with his second pick of the year. So the Chargers will start on their own 1-yard line. And we talked about what the Chargers defense has done following turnovers by their offense. They had allowed only 19 points following turnovers, and they stopped the Cardinals on that drive.
Right, so they only allowed 3 on 2 crucial turnovers so far today. Here's where you roll Flutie out. Let him make some of that magic happen.
It's Tomlinson, and he's forced back by Ronald McKinnon and Ray Thompson after a gain of just 1. LaDainian Tomlinson now with 99 yards of combined offense, 70 on the ground, and 29 on 7 receptions. Second down and 9 from the 2. Conway in motion. Flutie out of his own end zone, complete. Out of the backfield, the fullback throws to Prairie. And he's tripped up by Tom Knight. after a gain of 7.
McCrary does a nice job of giving the Chargers offense some breathing room. And again, it's just a nice pass by Doug Flutie. Just a little bit of a drop, just like a quarter roll, and he dumps it off to McCrary. Now they've got a long march down the field. See Flutie's numbers today, no touchdowns. Not a lot of big passes, but efficient throwing by Flutie.
4th down and 2. Flutie to Conway, first down, spins away from Corey Chavis, and is forced out of bounds at the 31-yard line, a gain of 22 yards.
Well, Corey Chavis goes for the big play, but Doug Flutie has too much velocity on this football. Watch Flutie, he's going to drop back, and he's going to gun this ball in there, and you're going to see Corey Chavis, he tries to jump in front of it for the interception, but he misjudges the velocity on this ball.
So the Chargers started on their own 1-yard line. Now they have some breathing room. 1st and 10 from the 31. Flutie to the air once again. To the outside, it's caught by McCrary. Forced out of bounds by Pat Tillman after a gain of 6.
Yeah, Flutie is starting to gun the ball around. But again, Kenny, you know, we've seen the Chargers all afternoon. They've been able to move the ball. They've thrown it downfield. They've not thrown it so much downfield, but they've thrown it pretty efficiently in the dinks and dunks. They've run the ball pretty well with LaDainian Tomlinson. It's in the red zone when they get ready to score where they've had their mental mistakes.
Flutie's completed 3 straight pass attempts, looking to make it 4. He does. Tomlinson, his 8th catch of the game, and he picks up another Chargers first down.
And you can feel the rhythm that Doug Flutie is getting into. And I think that right now, the Arizona Cardinals defense, they want to do some shock treatment. They want to try to bring some heat, to bring a blitz, to knock Doug Flutie out of this rhythm. Because if they don't do it, they're going to find themselves right back to their own end zone again.
Flutie on this drive, perfect, 41 yards. At the 43-yard line, Flutie had his foot stepped on, and he goes down.
And they did come with the blitz. I believe that Kendall Jaycox, the center, saw Ronald McKinnon come. Watch McKinnon. Here he comes. Here comes the blitz. And I think Jaycox steps back and right on the foot of Doug Flutie. There it is right there.
A loss of 3 yards on the play.
That's what they need. I think the Cardinals need to just keep doing that. They need to keep up the pressure, keep up the heat.
3 wide receivers on 2nd and 13. Play action. Flutie. Dumping it off. It's caught. Tomlinson. Up to the 49-yard line. And he's brought down after a gain of 9 by Russell Davis. 9th catch of the day for Tomlinson.
With the tackle.
How do you know a defense is giving an all-out effort? Watch Russell Davis. Here he is. He's rushing the passer. He gets banged by one guy, banged by 2. There's the short pass. He's in Flutie's face, but here he comes. He's running downfield. He's a big man. He doesn't have tremendous speed, but he's got hustle.
Flutie has now completed 5 in a row. 3rd down and 4. Again, 3 wide receivers. Flutie fires, complete to Conway.
Well thrown pass.
Another Chargers first down. Corey Chavis made the tackle after a gain of 10.
Arizona chooses to rush only 4 men. And so Doug Flutie has time, and a nice passing lane opens up for him to throw through, and he delivers a bullet. Again, if they're going to get Flutie out of his rhythm, they have to pressure it. They have to.
Flutie now 6 for his last 6. From the Cardinals 41. 7 for 7 as the pass was caught by Gaylor. A gain of 12 and another first down for the Chargers.
Kenny, they've got to do it. They're not getting pressure with their 4th down lineman. Here's Taylor.
To the 29.
There's no pressure. You see that there? Nice job by the Chargers offensive line. Lots of time. And Trevor Gaylor runs a nice pattern. He drives Corey Chavis deep, does a little bit of an outcut there, and ball thrown perfectly by Flutie.
70 yards on the drive so far. They started at their own 1.
And it's all this guy right here. Flutie is the guy who orchestrated this thing.
Penalty marker. As Flutie hits Tomlinson. Another flag. 2 flags on the field.
Penalty flags. Jared Tanner with the tackle.
Both penalties against San Diego.
Illegal shift on the offense, 2 men moving and not resetting. Penalties decline. Holding, 71. Offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Kenny, we talk about the rhythm that Doug Flutie's in, and the reason is because he really hasn't been under pressure. He's only been hit twice today so far. He's only been hurried 5 times, and that's out of 31 throwing attempts. So a super job by his offensive line up front. They've done an excellent job, and I really, as I said, I really believe that the Cardinals have got to blitz Flutie to get him out of this rhythm.
An offensive line that has allowed only 14 sacks all season, none so far today.
Well, I think they've done a good job too, but I think part of that statistic comes from Flutie's elusiveness.
Following the penalty on Domingo Graham, 1st and 20 from the 39. Flutie to Tomlinson, his 10th catch of the game, and works his way down to the 30-yard line before he was tackled by Pat Tillman, a gain of 9.
They're just going to keep. They're just going to keep picking them apart. You know, Flutie, when I asked him about his rhythm and how he was in a little bit of a statistical slide, he's been in a slump for 3 games. And I said, how did you get out of it? Any superstitions, anything you try to do differently? He said, you know what? And this is just Doug Flutie. This is classic. He is such a practical guy. He said, no, all I wanted to do was practice faster. I wanted more live action in practice to get my rhythm back.
Flutie to the near side for Graham. Flutie also told us, I don't care about the stats. I only care about the wins and the losses.
Well, that's been his whole life, and that's how you can be his size and still be 39 years old and playing in the National Football League. And look at him this drive. Perfect. I mean, he is such a ferocious competitor. He competes in everything he does.
Final minute of this 3rd quarter. Flutie on 3rd down. Fires, and the catch is made down at the 7-yard line by the tight end, Steve Hayden. Gain of 16 yards on the play for another Chargers first down.
Again, the protection that Doug Flutie has back there is outstanding. The only guy that's even close is Sayanyika, and he's in rushing the passer because Mario Fatafehi, who was a tackle and slid out to end, he's out. He's in the locker room having x-rays.
Flutie 10 for 10 so far on this drive as the Chargers have driven 93 yards downfield. They trail by a touchdown entering the 4th quarter. Cardinals leading the Chargers here in San Diego 10-3, and Tim, Doug Flutie has found his rhythm.
Man, he is in his groove. He's 10 for 10 on this drive, and he's gotten the ball to 5 different receivers. So the Chargers doing a great job moving the ball down the field. But now, Kenny, now they got to punch it into the end zone because all game long they've been able to move it. They've not been able to score touchdowns.
In the first half, 3 times in the red zone, 3 field goal attempts. And they connected on only one.
Historically, they run it in from here.
Tomlinson. No gain on the play.
Nice effort by Zach Walls.
Chargers and the Cardinals leading the way, along with the Chiefs, as far as fourth quarter scoring. San Diego well ahead of the rest of the league, and Arizona with the big fourth quarter last week against Detroit.
Well, although the Chargers have, as I said, historically, they try to run it in from here, I think the rhythm that Flutie has, you might as well go back to the thing that got you down here and throw it.
Here it comes to the end zone. Touchdown! Curtis Conway capping a 99-yard drive. Flutie on the drive, 11 for 11.
And you know, Kenny, the old saying, dance with the girl that brung you. And Doug Flutie in that passing game brought the Chargers all the way down the field to the dance. And then they danced with her.
And Wade Ritchie hearing the boos from the crowd as his name was announced over the public address. Ritchie connecting on the point after. Here's the sarcastic cheers from the Chargers fans. San Diego has tied the score at 10.
Over the years, but so for today, by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, we'll pick you up. And by Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Curtis Conway with the game-tying touchdown reception. And Marte Jenkins for the Cardinals had that 70-yard return to open the second half, which led to the Arizona field goal. Here's Jenkins from the 5. Cutting to his right. Jenkins out to the 34-yard line. A 29-yard return. Robert Carswell made the tackle on special teams. 10-10 Cardinals and the Chargers. We'll be back.
How good do your moves have to be to score a touchdown in the NFL? Watch Curtis Conway put the juke on Tommy Knight. He gets open, and then how good does your pass have to be? Watch Doug Flutie just lace this ball right here, right between the zone coverage with a perfect pass for the Chargers' tying score.
Flutie on that drive, 11 for 11, and thanks to a penalty, 111 yards in the air on the scoring drive. Michael Pittman out to the 37-yard line. Adrian Dingle made the tackle. Gain of 3 yards for Pittman. So the Chargers have tied the score following a 14-play, 99-yard drive.
And what we saw on that last play was the Cardinals running to set up the pass. I think the Chargers ran LaDainian Tomlinson early to set up the pass with Doug Flutie. And now I think Doug Flutie is back in a groove. He's back in a rhythm. So that's going to be dangerous, not only for the Cardinals, but everyone else.
Nice catch by the converted wide receiver, now a tight end, Tywan Mitchell, into Chargers territory for a first down. Down to the Chargers in 46.
Jake does a nice job. He's got a blitz coming on him quickly. He's got the safety coming unblocked, and he gets rid of this ball very nicely. He finds the receiver. It's in the vacated area, vacated by the blitzers. So a nice read, nice decision, nice throw by Jake Plummer. Cardinals might as well just keep throwing the ball. That's what's working for them.
7th catch of the season for Mitchell. They go back to the 1, and Pittman is flattened by Seau as we check in with JB in Los Angeles.
Hey, Kenny and Tim, boy, is Tom Brady just locking onto this play action here. Take a look at the tight end emerging from the pack. Number 44, Mark Edwards, 2-yard toss, 27-10. New England over the Saints. Back to Kenny Albert and Tim Green.
So Tom Brady getting the job done once again for the Patriots. You see what Ricky Williams has done against the AFC over the last couple of seasons. 4 wide receivers Plummer on 2nd and 10, in trouble, escapes, got away from Dingle, now throws, looking for Jackson, and it's broken up in the end zone by Carswell. But a penalty marker down out near midfield.
Arnold Jackson, the intended receiver.
It's against Arizona.
This play is a good example of where Jake's creativity can sometimes hurt.
With pressure on the quarterback.
He gets away with this one. But Carswell had a very nice chance to intercept this ball.
Holding, 66, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Pete Kendall, the left guard.
Kendall's right here. He's going to try to help block on Adrian Dingle. And he just grabs him by the arm. Not much of a hold, but a hold nonetheless. And as we said, Jake Plummer was lucky on that one that the ball was not intercepted.
2nd and 20.
10-yard penalty, 2nd and 20. Plummer out of the shotgun. And the pass is caught by Tywan Mitchell. His 2nd catch. Gerald Dixon made the tackle after a gain of just 2.
You know, Gerald Dixon does a super job on this because he forces Jake Plummer to throw the ball early by giving him the blitz read, and then he pulls out of his fake and into coverage. Watch Dixon right here. See that? He goes up, and he forced Jake to think, all right, I've got to get rid of this ball quick. And then he peels off on the coverage and shuts the play down really single-handedly. And now Junior is getting everyone fired up.
The crowd on their feet. 4th down and 17. Plummer steps up, in trouble. Chased by Perella, and throws it away.
That's the pressure that this Chargers defense has typified all season long. 4 men up front and 4 men putting excellent pressure on Jake Plummer. There's a stunt in the middle, and there's Ray Lee Johnson absolutely collapsing the pocket, and then John Perella, the big nose guard, 305 pounds, showing great agility really to chase Jake Plummer down.
Plummer told us yesterday Perella never takes a play off.
Said he's a madman.
And he found out firsthand on that play. Milburn with the fair catch, 44-yard punt by Stanley.
They all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the
NFL
word.
Sunday is brought to you by GMC. From professional-grade people come professional-grade SUVs. By Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. By DirecTV, the #1 satellite entertainment provider. And by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
Beautiful afternoon in San Diego. And the Chargers and the Cardinals are tied at 10. Doug Flutie led the Chargers 99 yards on their last drive. This time they start at their own 10. Flutie has connected on 11 consecutive pass attempts. And he's now 12 for his last 12 as Jeff Graham makes the catch for a gain of 20 yards.
With what Doug Flutie is doing, which is basically dissecting this Cardinals defense, they might as well take a chance and try to run a blitz on it. This is a zone right here. They've got 2 deep, 5 underneath, only 4 men rushing, getting no pressure on Doug Flutie. And Graham and all the rest of them are just finding the soft spots and sitting down. Doug Flutie is hot.
Flutie to the air on first down, 13 in a row. Tomlinson forced out of bounds by McKinnon after a gain of 5. Well, Fox Tuesday, catch Kiefer Sutherland in a new episode of 24 at 9 p.m. right here on Fox. And if you missed the 3rd hour of 24, you can catch it tomorrow night on FX. So be sure to check your local listings.
And that is an exciting show. We've got an exciting game. And we talked about wearing down the Cardinals defense. And I think that's what San Diego has been able to do. They have kept this defense out on the field a long time today.
2nd and 5. And Flutie's pass incomplete. He was looking for Hyden, so Flutie's streak comes to an end, too shy of a Chargers record, as he completed 13 in a row. Dan Fouts completed 15 consecutive passes for San Diego back in 1981. And you can see Flutie point to his chest. My fault.
Yep,
my fault.
That was him. And then you said it. It's the first time we've seen him out of rhythm. I will say this. The Cardinals, they didn't blitz all out, but they rushed 5. And they didn't give Flutie the throwing lane that he's had on all the other passes we've seen him complete. He did not have a lane to throw in because there were 5 rushers, and one of them got in his face. It was Marcus Bell.
3 wide receivers on 3rd down and 5. And Flutie's pass deflected. And a penalty flag.
Yeah, that's going to be Corey Chavis kind of mugs Curtis Conway. But I don't know. They may say it was uncatchable.
And if the ball is deflected, there is no pass interference.
Well, yeah, and if it's deflected, that's right. You can mug him.
There's no pass interference on the play. The ball was tipped. 4th down.
Well, the Cardinals defense holds on this play. There's Corey Chavis right there. And it clearly would have been pass interference, but for the tip ball. Marcus Bell, and he's the guy who had the pressure on Doug Flutie on the play. Not the pressure, but he's the guy who blocked the throwing lane on the play before. So an important turnaround for the Cardinals defense to slow down Flutie in that passing game.
Bennett punting from his own 25. Good kick. Arnold Jackson plays it at the 15. Jackson brought down by Dion Humphrey. 50-yard punt by Bennett.
What do you do?
Back in San Diego, Jake Plummer chatting with head coach Dave McGinnis. Cardinals and the Chargers tied at 10.
I got to believe that they're playing over there to get the ball in the hands of David Boston. He had 4 thrown to him, 4 catches and a touchdown. We have not seen the ball thrown to him since. And he's their money guy. And what a great turnaround he has. I think he came in the league his first 2 years. He even admitted he acted a little immature, a little self-centered, and he has really turned himself completely around.
Jake Plummer, big 4 corner numbers this year. Pump fakes, going for Boston, and really made an incredible catch.
I will say that Ryan McNeil does a fine job in his coverage of David Boston on this play. He keeps nice position. He doesn't get turned completely around. He stays right with him, and that forces Jake Plummer to throw this ball just out of Boston's reach. I mean, that is impressive to stay with David Boston that tight. It really is. But I like what the Cardinals did, and I think they should just keep doing it. Just keep going back to him. And now the Chargers are starting to mirror David Boston with Ryan McNeil.
2nd and 10 from the shotgun. Plummer dumps it off. It's Boston. Down the sidelines, forced out of bounds at the Chargers' 38-yard line.
Well, how do you turn yourself around? You work hard in the offseason. And look at this man. He added 20 pounds to his frame, and it's all muscle, and it all came as the result of tremendous work. He spent a lot of time with Jerry Sullivan, the wide receivers coach. He spent a lot of time in the weight room, and this man deserves all the accolades that he's going to receive because he worked for it. It's a great story.
His 6th 100-yard game this year. Thomas Jones. Jones down to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5 as we check in with James Brown.
New Orleans still trying to chip away in the bad weather up in New England, fellas. Take a look at Aaron Brooks out of the shotgun, hooking up with Willie Jackson, 7 yards to pay dirt, 27-17. And Kenny and Tim, Chris Collinsworth said he used to look like that as well. Back to you guys.
Well, there's a little mud up there in New England, JB. I know Chris Collinsworth was really looking for some mud today. Was looking for it in the Philadelphia game, but that was on turf. They had fun with him in the pregame show.
Plummer complete, first down. Martae Jenkins down to the Chargers' 23-yard line. A gain of 10.
Boy, now it's starting to work. You know, the Chargers are so focused on David Boston, and watch him here working on Ryan McNeil. Look at the power there. Just tossing him around. McNeil's got great position, and he's got a safety over the top as well. And if they're going to do that to David Boston, then you need Martae Jenkins. You need to mix it up, to throw it over there, to challenge the defense, to spread him out and soften him up. Then you go back to your big guy.
From the 23-yard line, Plummer pump fakes, looking for Boston. Double coverage, Jason Perry and Ryan McNeil on the coverage. 2nd and 10 upcoming.
I mean, look at the tremendous respect this defense is paying to David Boston. Look at it. There's Ryan McNeil, and again, it's cover 2. McNeil says all you have to do is play underneath. Jason Perry's over the top to cover it. I mean, they're using 2 men to play David Boston. Look at the power. You talk about strength. I mean, he tossed Perry. Perry says, you know, that's what it's all about. I love that. I love that camaraderie between guys who are out there battling. Between plays, you don't have to be that way.
Thomas Jones, 4-yard pickup.
I think that was, you know, when you looked at the pregame piece that Pam Oliver did with Kyle Turley from the Saints, you know, and the anger that he had carried off between plays, and that's the exception. That's not the rule. And I know why he was angry, and sometimes that happens, but for the most part in this game, you see great competitiveness, and anger is between the whistles, and that's you know, that's what it has to be. That's how Howie Long played the game. Angry when the whistle stops, friends again.
Huge play coming up. 3rd down and 6. Plummer complete. Arnold Jackson has the first down.
Tremendous job by the Cardinals offensive line up front. Just to give Jake Plummer a moment. There's the blitz. It's an all-out blitz. Everyone's coming, but Plummer has time, and because everyone is focused in the secondary on David Boston, look at it right there. There's 3 guys on Boston. Now you got Arnold underneath, and he's open. Arnold Jackson is open because 3 men were looking at David Boston.
Jackson, the all-time leading receiver in college football history. Jones takes it up the middle. Thomas Jones down to the 1-yard line.
And I will tell you this, we are still seeing the effects of David Boston, believe it or not, even in the running game, because they're trying to blitz, they're trying to cover Boston, and now the whole defense is out of sync and softened up.
Now Pittman replaces Jones. Jason Starkey, backup center, has checked in as an eligible receiver.
How about the big guy Leonard Davis? Would you like to run behind him?
There's Pittman, goes the other way, and is in for the touchdown.
With the touchdown.
That was a well-executed drive by the Arizona Cardinals offense. And really, they did it all, didn't they? They got the ball to Boston. They threatened with Boston. Then they came back. Martae Jenkins made a nice catch. Arnold makes a nice catch. Pittman runs it in. Excellent all around, right? Thomas Jones had a beautiful run down there in the red zone. Very balanced offensive effort by the Cardinals.
The big play, the 30-yard pass play from Plummer to Boston. And then Pittman returning home. The San Diego native gives the Cardinals the 7-point lead. 9-play, 68-yard scoring drive for the Cardinals. Michael Pittman with the go-ahead touchdown. So it's 6 minutes remaining. Cardinals leading by 7. Bill Grammatica kicking off. And it bounces behind Jenkins. He hesitated and now takes it out. Ronnie Jenkins out to the 28-yard line. Pat Silver made the stop. Doug Flutie will look to work some magic when we return. Big second half numbers for Doug Flutie, who at one point, Tim, connected on 13 consecutive passes.
Well, and I think, Kenny, if you think about coming into this game, in the last 3 games, Doug Flutie really struggled. He had only 1 touchdown. He had 6 interceptions. His completion percentage was down around 40%. And then today in the first half, he started to come on. He looked efficient. And then in the second half, as you said, 13 for 13 at one point, and he orchestrated that drive almost single-handedly when they scored their lone touchdown of the day.
Chargers starting from their own 28-yard line. Flutie over the top to Tomlinson, his 12th catch of the day. 9 yards. 2nd and 1 for the Chargers.
And Kenny, I think part of the key for the Chargers is protecting Doug Flutie. And look how well they've done that so far. He has only been hit 3 times. He's only been hurried 6 times, and that's out of 40 pass attempts. So the guys up front have done a fantastic job. Jaycox, McIntosh, Roundtree.
Tomlinson picks up the first down out to the 40.
These Chargers offensive linemen have done a really fine job of protection. And again, even though they ran for the first down there, I think you're going to see the Chargers continue to have Flutie throwing the ball. And the only time the Cardinals have been able to stop him in the second half is when they brought more than 4 rushers.
Play action on first down. Pass number 13 for Tomlinson, tackled by Tillman at the 47, a gain of 7.
Again, Kenny, the Chargers are just going to pick this defense apart. Doug Flutie is playing too well right now. He's playing within his game. He's seeing the field. And without pressure in his face, he's just going to sit back there. He's going to examine it, and he's going to find a receiver open, whether it's deep downfield or underneath. Nice job.
2nd down and 4. Flutie steps up, penalty marker. Flutie into Cardinals territory for the Arizona 46. Penalty flag stops the clock with 4:03 remaining.
You know, of all the miscues that the Chargers have had this afternoon, and they've had quite a few, missed kicks and penalties, this may prove to be the most costly.
Holding, 71, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Domingo Graham, and he just threw Russell Davis to the ground. And that is something that the officials are always going to see. You know, if you grab a guy, grab his shirt, keep it in tight, that's okay. Here he is right here, and watch what he does to Russell Davis right here at the last second. I mean, there's the official right there's the umpire right there. They're always going to see that.
So it forces the Chargers back. 2nd down and 14. The Heat. Flutie to Caleb. Trevor Caleb into Cardinals territory for a Chargers first down. 26 yards on the pass play.
Cardinals bring the heat, and Flutie beats it anyway. Watch Kwame Lassiter. Watch Pat Tillman. Here he comes. Tillman's on Flutie right away. But Flutie finds Gaylor downfield. And another perfectly thrown football. Look at that. Inside the outside coverage, outside the inside coverage, and Flutie just delivers an excellent pass.
Tom Knight, who missed 3 games with a hamstring injury before returning last week, shaken up. He collided with his teammate Kwame Lassiter.
And Kenny, watch, look at the rhythm. Watch, Flutie's going to have pressure right here from Tillman in his face. Watch how well this ball is thrown. Look at this. Look at that right there. Look where he has to throw that ball. He's got a safety on one side. He's got a cornerback on another. And look where he puts it. Right in there.
Gaylor's 3rd catch of the day. Came into the game with only 1 reception all season. And there's Lassiter, who the last time these teams met back in 1998, last game of the season, Cardinals clinched the playoffs. Lassiter in that game had 4 interceptions, which tied an NFL record. Lassiter involved in a collision with Knight, forcing Knight out of the game. So for the Chargers, who trail by a touchdown, First and 10 coming up from the Cardinals' 38-yard line.
You know, even though Doug Flutie beat the blitz on that last play, I would continue to blitz him. I really would. I just don't see the Cardinals defense stopping Flutie any other way than putting heat in on him.
David Barrett has replaced Tom Knight at left corner. Floating for the tight end, Hayden. Out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A gain of 8 as we check in with James Brown. JB.
Kenny and Tim, it has just been an impressive performance by New England. Take a look at Antoine Smith. He takes it in 3 yards for the score. Most points given up this season by the Saints. 34-17 New England. And fellas, Chris Collinsworth on the mud issue in Philly, he's crying Uncle Mel. Back to you guys.
Come on, you guys aren't being rough on him still, are you, JB?
Oh, not Terry. And the Eagles, despite the Roger punt, lost to the Redskins. Redskins' 5th consecutive victory. Tomlinson close to the marker.
And the only time we're seeing the Chargers run the ball now is when it's a second and short type situation, just to keep the chains moving, just to pick up another first down. And this one may be just short. It is just short.
3rd and 1 for the Chargers with under 3 minutes remaining.
This is an area where the Chargers struggled early in the game, but in this second half they've thrown it successfully on 3rd down.
Chargers keep it on the ground, and Tomlinson looks to have the first down.
I think it's excellent vision by LaDainian Tomlinson. You know, because there's a lot of movement up front, and Arizona comes with a run blitz. Watch the movement up front, and LaDainian Tomlinson starts one way, and he sees the hole. He sees the hole, and he breaks back to the inside, and that was an important first down.
Chargers did not get the snap off prior to the 2-minute warning. Doug Flutie and the Chargers on the move on the 28-yard line with 2 minutes to play, trailing by 7. Kenny Albert, Tim Green back in San Diego, 17-10. Cardinals with the lead. Doug Flutie, a career-high 32 completions this afternoon. 1st and 10 on the Arizona 28.
Here comes the heat, Kenny. Here comes the blitz.
Flutie going for grab in the end zone. Touchdown!
Doug Flutie is in a rhythm. I think he's in a rhythm that his garage band would be proud of.
His 2nd touchdown pass in this 4th quarter. And Wade Ritchie,
that was close,
just makes the point after he missed 2 field goals back in the 1st quarter. We are tied with under 2 minutes to play. Arizona Cardinals, San Diego Chargers tied at 17 with 1:54 remaining. Doug Flutie to Jeff Graham tying the score. Short kickoff picked up by Marcel Shipp, a rookie running back out of the University of Massachusetts, and he brings it out to the 37.
Kenny, I like the Cardinals' decision to blitz. I don't like the press coverage down here by the young David Barrett against Jeff Graham. That's what enables this play to happen. See, Barrett is just way too close to the wily veteran Graham, and Graham turns him around, separates himself, and Doug Flutie does a great job with pressure in his face to deliver a perfect touchdown pass. So I like the pressure, I like the blitz, but I don't like taking a young, inexperienced quarterback and trying to press a guy like Jeff Graham. You will lose that battle, and the Cardinals did lose that battle.
Cardinals with 2 timeouts remaining. Plummer incomplete, looking for the fullback. Makovica. Ray Johnson applying intense pressure on Jake.
Really nice pressure by Ray Johnson, and he ate the Oakland Raiders alive last week. And now, when it's a critical point in the game, he is working L.J. Shelton. Watch the power. Watch him here. He gets up underneath Shelton's pad, shucks and comes to the inside, and the snake just barely slips away.
Second and 10. 4 wide receivers. Plummer complete. Taiwan Mitchell into Chargers territory, forced out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
Nice job by the snake, and this is why he's a snake. You ever try to pick up a garden snake, you can barely get your hands on it, and when you do, he slips away. Watch Perella, comes around, snake slips up, slips away, slides the ball to the underneath receiver. Jake is not only eluding, he's seeing the field.
20 yards from Plummer to Mitchell. From the Chargers 44. Plummer to the outside, caught by Marte Jenkins. Knocked out of bounds by Tate Cody after a gain of 8.
Well, you know, we talked about the efficiency of the Chargers offense and how Flutie worked down the field so well, throwing the ball. Look at this passing game. But one thing about this Cardinals team, they have an outstanding passing game, and it's just getting better and better. Plummer is getting better. He's making better decisions, and he's spreading the ball. I mean, David Boston is a force, but now we're seeing Marte Jenkins get in on the action, and also Arnold Jackson.
Second and 2. Michael Pittman stopped. Junior Seau again leading the charge.
And this is where you have to be careful, because this is where a guy like Seau can take over the game if you let him. But you know what you need to do? You just need to avoid it. You need to just stay away from Junior Seau. The only way you can stay away from him is use the passing game.
Under a minute to play. 3rd down and 1. Jackson in motion.
Jake shouldn't forget his ability to run.
Plummer throws, and the pass is caught by David Boston for a first down. A gain of 13 yards with 47 seconds remaining.
Well done by both these Cardinals players. Watch the pressure. Junior Seau is coming with a full head of steam. Here comes the blitz. Here comes the pressure. Look at him. And Jake does a fantastic job. Look at Boston. Runs a very disciplined route. You know, when we talked to him yesterday about all the things that he's done in the offseason, the strength, the working, and he kept focusing on the precision of his routes. And that's what frustrated Seau on that play.
The Cardinals in field goal range. Here's Pittman, penalty marker on the play. Pittman down to the 19-yard line.
I think Junior Seau drew that penalty. I think it may end up being holding. And if it is, I would contend that it's because they were trying to stop Junior Seau.
Holding, 60, offense, 10-yard penalty.
That's Mike Grunadoria, the center. Why is he holding? He's holding because one of the best players in the game is right here in his face, and he has to tackle him to keep him from tackling Pittman in the backfield. And that is a costly penalty from a field goal standpoint.
Ten yards marched off. Ball placed at the 32-yard line.
Would make a field goal from here a 49-yard attempt. He's got the career long of 50. But Kenny, again, you have to ask yourself, why would you give Junior Seau the opportunity? Why? Look at him. He's crazy. I mean, he plays like a man possessed. Don't run the ball at him. Don't run the ball near him. Throw the football.
Cardinals on the 32-yard line. Play action. Plummer dumps it off to Makovica. Gains 4. Seau made the tackle. Down at the 27-yard line. Timeout called with 32 seconds remaining as we check in with James Brown.
Kenny and Tim, take a look at Howie's Raiders and what they did to the Giants. The league's best passer, Rich Gannon, hooking up with Tim Brown, one of his 2 touchdown receptions of the day, knocking off the Giants. The Giants fall below 500 to 5-6. Oakland wins it by 18. Back to Kenny and Tim.
So the Raiders 8-2. They will host the Arizona Cardinals next week.
That's right, and you know, JB put his finger on it. Rich Gannon right now, the most efficient passer in the game. But look what he's got to throw to. I mean, he's got Tim Brown up there, and then he's got Jerry Rice, and Jerry Rice is playing the best football I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, he has come back. And I know everyone talked about, well, maybe the game was beyond him. He is back in full force.
Chargers call this timeout, Tim, stopping the clock with 32 seconds remaining in a tie ball game. 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns for the San Diego Chargers. And now Jake Plummer on the Cardinals with a 2nd down and 6 from the San Diego 28. Gramatica continues to warm up on the sidelines. Michael Pittman falling forward to the 23-yard line. Pittman scored the touchdown, which gave the Cardinals the 17-10 lead earlier this quarter.
I'll tell you, Kenny, Robert Carswell just saved a touchdown because Pittman breaks away from the center of the defense where Seau and everyone else is coming, and Carswell was the only guy there left to stop Michael Pittman from reaching the end zone.
Now the Cardinals let the clock run all the way down.
Yeah.
Looked like they would have had time to run one more play and then send out the field goal unit, but instead they let the clock run all the way down to 4 seconds.
I think that may be homage to Junior Seau, because you know most times you say, well, look, let's just pick up even a couple more yards, but if you're going to try to hand off, I think that's what Jake Plummer wanted to do. And you know the old thing about saying, well, you know, you snap it on 3rd down so that if you fumble the snap you can reload and try again on 4th. That doesn't count when there's only 4 seconds on the clock.
So the rookie out of South Florida, Bill Gramatica, who hit from 18 earlier, will attempt a 42-yard field goal. Chad Stanley is the holder. This is for the win. Now 2 seconds have been added on.
Well, now it makes sense.
Question is, when exactly did the Cardinals call the timeout? So 6 seconds on the clock.
Now that makes sense, because now if you have a fumble in the snap, you do get to reload and try it again.
And now the Chargers will call timeout to try and ice Gramatica, the brother of Buccaneers kicker Martin Gramatica. Bill Gramatica, the 4th-round draft pick. He's attempted only 10 field goals all season in 10 games. And he'll have a minute or two to think about this one.
Well, you know, some of the pressure, Kenny, is taken off of him because it's 3rd down. Maybe saying was that called the timeout, and it took some time for the call from one official just to reach the official timekeeper. So because there are 6 seconds left,
the clock reset to 6.
Right. If there's a bad snap, then Chad Stanley will just pull it down and try again.
From 42 yards, Gramatica's kick has the distance. It's good. With 1 second remaining, the Cardinals lead by 3. as they say about his brother. Automatica.
1 second.
And this is what a win for the Arizona Cardinals if they prevail. Don't forget, Mike Riley said one thing he needed to get was something from their kicking game, and Ronnie Jenkins, their kick return, is #1 in the league with 2 touchdowns already this season. So that 1 second may be an important second. And I think the Cardinals are going to want to squib the ball to try to keep it as far away from Ronnie Jenkins as possible.
Which they have done today. Special teams, the difference. Wade Ritchie missed 2 field goals in the first quarter. Gramatica 2 for 2. And Marte Jenkins of the Cardinals with the 70-yard kickoff return in the third quarter, which led to some points for Arizona.
Think how important this is for Dave McGinnis and his team, Kenny. If they do prevail, looks like they will, they'll be 4-6. The Giants dropped to 5-6, losing today to the Oakland Raiders. Washington's at 5-5, and Philadelphia will be at 6-4. So Arizona all of a sudden climbs back, not to just respectability, but back into the playoff hunt with a passing game that's looking incredibly potent.
Ronnie Jenkins scoops it up at the 7. And Jenkins is tackled at the 22-yard line. No flags. And the Arizona Cardinals have won their 2nd straight game, only their 2nd win on the road in the last 15. They are now 4-6. The San Diego Chargers have lost their 4th consecutive game as they drop to 5-6 and will visit Seattle next week. So a victory for Dave McGinnis, and the Cardinals will return to San Diego in just a moment.
One divisional rival, the Redskins, gave them a particularly hard time through the late 70s and 80s. From 1976 to 1991, Washington beat the Cardinals 28 of 32 contests. In 1984, however, quarterback Neil Lomax breathed new life into the then St. Louis Cardinals and made them competitive in the NFC East once again. Let's flash back to 2 games between the Cards and the Skins that came down to the final minutes in that exciting season.
A more decisive divisional battle took place in Bush Memorial Stadium, where St. Louis quarterback Neil Lomax always has a receiver within speaking or striking distance. Severing the Lomax-Roy Green connection is as frustrating to opposing defenders as selecting a long-distance service is to AT&T customers. But the Washington Redskins managed to ring a few bells themselves, while keeping the Cardinals on hold 21-10 in the third quarter. St. Louis mounted their comeback on the strength of Neil Lomax's signature bomb to the explosive green, good for 83 yards. The Cardinals can always place an emergency call to Lomax and Green, but all they could get was static from kicker Neil O'Donohue, who missed 2 field goals and 1 extra point. But with 5 seconds remaining and the Cardinals down by 1, O'Donohue redeemed himself with a 21-yard boot. The 26-24 win gave St. Louis a share of the NFC East lead and snapped a 5-game Redskin winning streak. Neil Lomax is establishing his own streak, having tossed a touchdown pass in 16 straight games, while continuing to show opponents that the Cardinals won't ever throw in the towel. St. Louis is off to its best start since 1977. But who can blame jolly old St. Nick for wanting to attend the Cardinal-Redskin clash? As it turned out, Kris Kringle proved to be as adept at picking football games to watch as he is at handing out presents. For this one had everything from last-minute heroics to record-shattering performances. The latter due mainly to Redskin wide receiver Art Monk, number 81. Monk latched on to 11 Joe Theismann passes, including this 23-yard first-quarter touchdown to set a new NFL record with 106 catches in a single season. Even though this was the deciding game for the NFC Eastern Division crown, the Redskins looked like they were going to run away with it early.
John Riggins' 5-yard second-quarter touchdown run helped lift Washington into a seemingly insurmountable 23-7 halftime lead. These Cardinals have a few record breakers of their own. One of them is quarterback Neil Lomax, who set a St. Louis standard by tossing for 458 yards. Another is wide receiver Roy Green, who may be the one man capable of breaking the pass receiving mark established by Monk. Lomax hit Green for 2 second-half touchdowns, including this 75-yarder to rally St. Louis into a 27-26 lead. Less than 2 minutes remaining, though, the Cardinals' dream of winning the division title right here in Washington died when Mark Mosley booted home a game-winning 37-yard field goal. If Santa Claus was still here for the finish, even he would have had trouble deciding what team was good and what team was bad. Both these clubs played well enough on the season's final weekend to earn a Christmas present coming in the form of a division title. But this was a winner-take-all game, and for the second year in a row, it is the Redskins who reign #1 in the NFC East.
The Cardinals finished at 9-7 that season and lost a tiebreaker with the Giants for the NFC wildcard spot, while the Redskins won the NFC East but fell in the playoffs to the Bears. After that, the Cards hit another long dry spell. 14 years, 5 coaches, and 1 city later, Cardinal fans were still waiting for another winning season. Enter quarterback Jake Plummer. With a knack for the dramatic, the second-year quarterback turned the Cards into an instant playoff contender.
By now, you may have heard of Jake the Snake Plummer, he of the strong arm and serpentine running style. Against the Redskins last Sunday, each of Plummer's considerable talents were on display for all to admire.
Plummer rolls out right. Plummer stepped up, throws to the goal line. It's caught. Touchdown. Plummer's going to run. Plummer's going to get hit. He breaks a tackle. He's on the 10. He's on the 5. He scores. Now he dances. Now he runs. Plummer's on the 10. Plummer throws in the end zone to a wide open Larry Centers. He's got it. He scores.
Washington let it be known that they, too, had a talented young quarterback. And while Trent Green doesn't have a snappy nickname, he does have Michael Westbrook. Westbrook helped pull the Redskins back from a 31-point deficit with a career day, 10 catches for 135 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 neatly negotiated pylon. With Arizona minding Westbrook, Green found Leslie Shepard.
He's going back, looking right all the way. Pumps it once, going for the end zone. He's got a man. Shepard, touchdown! Washington Redskins up. These fans are alive now. This is what they've been waiting for.
The Redskins then went to the ground as rookie Skip Hicks cut the lead to 5. With the Cardinal defense reeling, Green hit Shepard for the 2-point conversion. Washington would score on 6 straight possessions and was aiming for 7, trailing by 3 with under 2 to play.
Green back to throw. Looks to his left. He throws off the fingertips of Westbrook and intercepted by Lassiter. And the Cardinals are going to win it.
The heartbreaking loss was nothing new for the Redskins, who can't seem to get out of their own way this season.
The Cardinals ended their 15-year playoff drought that season and even managed to beat the Cowboys in the wild card playoff. The Skins, meantime, finished 6-10 in '98, but bounced back the next year to capture the NFC East title once again. Stay tuned, everyone. When we return, we will head into the black and blue division here on NFL Flashback.